All right. Wait a couple of minutes until a few more people join. People are trickling in slowly. Feel free to use the chat in the meantime and let me know if you guys can hear okay, just so that I know that I'm not just talking to myself, which has happened before. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Happy Friday for anyone that is on this side of the world, and happy Thursday night for those on the other side of the pond. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just another week here. We'll go through fairly quickly to what I think will happen this week, and we'll have a bit of a macro look at the dollar. I've got a couple of coins here that I want to talk about, and then I'll just finish off with a bit of a thesis. So probably about 20 minutes or so not too long. But let's just kick it off with good old dollar. So we talked about dollar index, so US dollar, now for a few weeks, and you can see it's playing out to the T. So what I'm expecting was basically this kind of move, consolidation until Trump takes office in Jan, and we can see that we're basically starting to sweep all these highs here. So with that in mind, we are looking at potentially things like gold and indices going down a little bit more, but eventually once the dollar starts to retrace down, we'll see those flying. So it's good to see that our thesis is playing out so far. And what I want to talk to today about, I guess, is obviously we all know that Bitcoin is pumping, so crypto is pumping, and it's fantastic for us. But what if you were just starting today? What if you didn't have any in your portfolio? What would you buy if you were to start today? You might have some friends that ask you this question, and or some family members at Christmas coming up. So I just kind of wanted to give a bit of a look as to what I personally think are undervalued coins. And please understand that none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so all these are just simply my opinions. So if you do decide to take them, you're on yourself. You're on your own. But what I think are undervalued coins at this current point in time are these coins here, which you can take a little screenshot if you like. I'll start off with Casper. Obviously, we know Casper is something that we've been talking about. Greeny's been talking about it since probably 7 cents or even lower. I can't remember. So we've hit a nice high of 21 cents. So nice cheeky 3x there, but I still think that for where it is right now in time, at this current point in time, it's still a massively undervalued coin. So this is a coin that is created by someone very prominent in the space, a very respectable dev. And when I talk dev, I'm not talking one of the meme coins dev. I'm talking like founders of Ethereum are looking up to this guy. So we're talking about the big dogs here. And 21 million coins market cap. So maximum. So kind of similar to Bitcoin, right? You can mine it. It's a proof of work. So it's got all the right narrative. And I think at 13 cents, it did retrace back down to 9 cents, which is when we actually caught a buy in the Discord down here. But you can see it's currently retracing down. So pretty much anything in this area, I'll box it up for us. I think it's a really nice accumulation area. So between the 12 cents and the 10 cents, if we do end up going down there, again, I definitely think I personally will be accumulating more Casper at those levels. And look, 10 cents entry, worst case scenario goes back to the whole time here, 20 cents, it's an easy 2x, but I personally think we'll go much higher. But you never know with crypto, right? So put it on your radar, guys and girls. Casper. Another one that I want to talk about is on the Solana ecosystem, and this called Bond FIDA or FIDA or FIDA, depends how you want to call it. Aussie will probably say FIDA. What it is basically the equivalent of ENS, so the Ethereum naming system. You know, like myself, I'm AussieKing.eth. Well, you can do the same for Sol, .sol, and these guys are this is the project behind it. something that with the adoption that Solana is going to get into this run, we'll probably see a lot more, I guess, newcomers, normies that want to have the cool name. And obviously that's money coming into the project. The tokenomics are not bad for this project. And I actually think the level we are now, you can see it hit a all-time high of was something silly. So this was last cycle. So where were we? Leave that week alone, but look, $10, we are sitting currently at 20 cents. So you do the math. I don't know if we're going to go back to all-time high, but certainly the risk to reward here for, you know, an easy, at least to $1, I would think, right? Like that's an easy 5x. So personally, I like to invest in projects more so than in coins. That's just how I do. I trade stocks, so I'm used to look into companies and look at what the company looks like and the P&Ls and the underlying asset. And I think this is a good play long term, obviously, in the coming months. It's not a meme coin, but something to put on the radar. So FIDA on the Solana ecosystem. Another thing that I was looking at, just to provide a bit of value to the group, we called out Illuvium exactly on the yellow box. We said, it was about here, I said, we're just going to wait for the yellow box. And I can't make these things up. Like you can all see, it literally wicked into and then it ran. So if you caught it, amazing. I still think that for portfolio, so this is not leverage, this is portfolio play. This is a great area. Anything below $40, I think we're looking really good for Illuvium. This is something that obviously in the previous run was a lot higher. I think it was like $1,000, but then they did some sort of cut with the coin. So we're probably not going to go back to those highs just because they changed the tokenomics. But $100 is absolutely doable. And again, that's a 2 to 3x from here. So this is a gaming play if you want to diversify your portfolio. So if you don't have any exposure to gaming, obviously Avax is leading the way in terms of gaming, but it's good to have something on ETH as well. And I do think that Illuvium having not only a working game currently, but also the partnership that they just launched a few months ago with Samsung, they're going to put this game in every Samsung TV, which is huge. Like we're talking about mass onboarding. So at these levels, anything below 40, I'm buying. I'm slowly DCAing into it. And then I'm hearing a few good things in few chats that I'm in about Arbitrum. They do some good partnerships with Web2 businesses. I'm not a huge fan of this, just purely because of tokenomics, but I wanted to put it on your radar. On my charts, when you see a blue line like this, usually that's my accumulation level, so that's where I like to buy. We're approaching again, so around the 50 cents, I'll become interested again for Arbitrum. And then we'll just cruise through. In the meantime, guys and girls, feel free to write questions in the chat or just come off mute if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them, but I'm just going to cruise through. I want to give you some value because I only got 20 minutes today, so and I know that it's quite late for some of you. Compound is a really good DeFi project that I've been stacking pretty much anytime it goes under $40. I've been DCAing, so I've had this nice little accumulation area here. You can see I just write myself notes there, but basically this is a bit of a contender for Aave. Aave, obviously the biggest DeFi project currently, or one of the biggest on the Ethereum ecosystem. But I do think that Compound is massively undervalued at these prices. Again, all-time highs from previous cycle. You can see where we are, just to give you a bit of perspective. We might not get there, but look, these are my take profits. I'm aiming at 150, and potentially the next one is 400. So if you take into account that we are $46, that's a 10x. We'll see. We'll see if we get there. But yeah, easy 2x for me. I like to diversify my plays. Again, solid business. There's 1.5 billion in total value lock in TVL. So they got the money. And speaking of TVL and Ethereum, this is something that I've been yelling from the top of the roofs for months and months and months. But Rocket Pool was one of the first projects to come out with staking for Ethereum. Basically, I don't know if you know this, guys and girls, but if you want to stake Ethereum, you have to have 32 Ethereums. That's like 32. That's a lot of money, right? Like not everyone has got 32 Ethereum just sitting around they want to stake. But if you do enter Rocket Pool in the mix, you can actually stake your whatever Ethereum you have into pools and earn yields, which is obviously great, not just for normies or for us, or for anyone that doesn't have 32 Ethereum, but also for potentially like serious investors that want to come in and diversify the portfolio. So really good project, solid tokenomics. Yeah, their plan is to drop it to way less. That's right. Yeah, so that's what Vitalik hinted at. Excuse me. Vitalik hinted that you are going to be able to stake with less, but we'll see, right? Like there's so much stuff that they still need to figure out, gas and things like that. So I'm super bullish with ETH. Like 100% bullish, but there is so much still that they have to figure out. It is going to be most likely, I think you touched on it this morning or the other day, Greeny, where you basically said, what does it want to be? Do they want to be a dev platform? I think that there will be the financial platform for most of the financial institutions. I think Solana is great for other things, but yeah, for more TradFi, traditional finance, I think ETH will take the cake. So, yeah, keep an eye on Rocket Pool. Again, really good tokenomics there. And with a different chain now, we enter the Bitcoin layer 2 world, STX. STX was one of the first layer 2 to come out for Bitcoin. I bought my first STX down here when they were offering BTC names of 50 cents. I still got some, but not a lot. And it ran all the way to $4. So I'm still looking at accumulating more around this area, probably when it gets into the purple box. So that's a 786 level. But anything below $1.50, I'm putting in for portfolio. Really good project. They have a ton of partnership going at the moment. And they really incentivizing devs. I'm a dev in real life, so I'm a developer, software developer, and they're really incentivizing developers to work on their platform on layer 2s in general, but Bitcoin at layer 2. So they're really doing a lot of foundational work, these guys. So really good business. I'm a fan. I think they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So, and there's not a lot of layer 2s for Bitcoin, which always helps. And then go back to gaming, looking at opportunities. Where can we find these opportunities? Well, Shrapnel, it's something that I know Greeny was looking at months ago, and they had a huge run. You can see, like, they went up to 40 cents. The game is out, so it's playable. You can go on the website, you can download the game. It's a good game. I think it's a shooting game. I'm not huge in gaming myself, but it is a really cool game. I looked at it. And they're looking really good at the moment. So you can see we had this nice breaker structure. So we made lower low, higher low, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we started making higher highs. And that's what I want to see, right? Like I want to see those higher highs. So if you look at some of the volume, there is a relatively large volume spike. The largest has been happening for quite some time. And when I see this kind of volume going up and the price is going down, that's when I become a little bit more interested in buying and accumulating for a portfolio. So I'm not against actually starting to accumulate now, because you can see we're most likely going to top out here. So if I do that, we're sitting at about 786 currently. So I probably would expect some sort of chop down here, something like this, and then we shoot up. So not against accumulating from here, but Shrapnel at 3 cents, targeting an easy, I don't know, call it 7. That's a 2x, but if you want more, like, you got plenty of room to run. Just so that you know, when you see this kind of harmonics, the way I play them and the way they most likely always play out is, once you see something like this, I like to take a fib from the low or to the high in this case, and my take profit is the 50%. So this area will be my next take profit. You can see where I got the arrow there. So I'm targeting the 20 cents area. So entering now at, 3 cents, and going up to 21 cents. It's a nice 7x that I'm targeting. So yeah, Shrapnel, really good undervalued. We talked about the dollar. We had a look about the dollar. I just want to have a little look at an idea that I called this morning. or a few hours ago for those of you on the other side of the world. That was an Ethereum short. So why did I call it? I'll just run through quickly so that you can see the thought process behind it. So obviously we can see a decrease in volume. That's normal. I'll get rid of the volume. I don't like things on my chart. So there you go. Get rid of that. We can see it on the 4 hour. This is a 4 hour. We started making lower lows. So that was the structure right here. And you can see basically once we start closing below, that's when I'm like, okay, that's called breaker structure. So tells us that the market wants lower. Once I see that, it's really just a matter of just scaling down into lower time frames. So from the 4 hour, you can see lower. Yep, this is a nice big institutional candle. So where is my, there. This is a nice, basically, take out the highs, last high before the low, and that tells me that the market is likely going to go in the opposite direction. So when you see these kind of moves where there's a spike up and the candle actually closes below, 9 times out of 10 the move is on the opposite direction. So once we see this kind of breaker structure, which is here, scale down into lower time frame, what do we see? Well, on the 15 minutes it was pretty clear. Once I see this kind of move here, that was my entry. That was the candle that I targeted. So this one here, you can see there. And then from there, it was just a matter of finding the right entry and be on the laptop at the right time. I don't trade off my phone personally. I like to be on my screens, and that was the 50 minutes. I enter at a market entry here. I did say on the Discord, look, this is going to be entry 2 if you want it, and it never hit. It just took it. So when I give 2 entries like that, I do it for a reason. Sometimes the market will just run straight away, like on the direction that we anticipated. But sometimes we don't. It doesn't. Sometimes if you wait, you might get a better entry. So the way I like to play these things is I say for example, I'm risking 1%. So right, 1%. I take 0.5. Actually, that's not right. That's horrible. If I have 1% to play with, I take 0.5 here and 0.5 here. Right. So that's 2 entries. And look, if the market goes down straight away, fantastic. I have a risk to reward with a 0.5% that I was willing to risk. And if the market does reverse up and hit my second entry, great. I'll have an even better entry. But I don't like to overexpose myself. So if you see 2 entries, which you will, coming from my calls, just that's how I like to play. More as an FYI. And I'll finish off talking about something that I'm hearing in the grapevine. So obviously we know Trump presidency. It's going to take place in January. One of the things that he's talking about now is completely eliminating taxes for crypto-based projects in the USA. That's massive. So if you're a crypto project and you're based in the USA, you're going to have minimal taxes, which is obviously super attractive. He did mention a number of times that he wants to bring crypto back into America. They want to be the capital of cryptos, right? So that's awesome for any crypto project. So I'm expecting some good old projects to come back, and I'm not necessarily a huge fan of them, but I can tell you that if these companies that have been around for a long time and already have really good partnership in place are going to get a boost by limited taxes, I think we'll see the resurgence. And specifically what I'm hearing about, and I want to put it here first, and I'll do some more deep dives and I'll try to find out more. But HBAR, it's a long project. Like we're looking at, look where it was. We're talking about 2021, I think it was. Yeah. It's at the lows right now, so it's a really attractive prices. Keep an eye on it. I'm not saying go buy it by all means, but just something to keep an eye on. And Cardano, which I've never been a fan of. I think they're pretty stale project. Well, they're actually starting to make some move. So if you follow, I don't, but I do like to listen to some people. They've actually starting to change their business model, and they're going to try to be more BTC friendly. They're going to try to integrate themselves into the Bitcoin ecosystem by offering some sort of layer 2 capabilities. So, and that's why they've gone into this silly run. Like they've outperformed many of the other alts in this last week, really. For that reason, word is going out. So obviously Cardano made a lot of people a lot of money in the previous runs. It went from like pennies, like 10 cents to $3. Will it go back to all-time high? I don't think so. But look, something to keep an eye on. You know, a third of the all-time high. So you're looking at $1.20, targeting this equal highs here. Well, you're looking at, what is that? 30 cents. So it's 4x from here, from current prices. So not a bad play. I'm not personally overly interested. ALGO is something that, on the other hand, I do like. It's a solid project. They've got some really good partnership in place. For us Aussie, look into it. But ALGO, they've been working with the government under the radar to basically bring some sort of stable coin eventually. So definitely a project that I'm looking at potentially scaling to more. And last but not least, and I'll drop it here, XRP. I think this project is going to make a lot of people angry. It's been suppressed for so long. You can see, basically, we can call all this, like, look, all this can be one big consolidation. And you're talking about 2 years consolidation. And I want to ask the group, what do you think happened when a project is suppressed for this long? Mainly by obviously Gary Gensler and the SEC, and now we know that Gary Gensler is about to get the boot. So we caught this beautiful run on XRP. We took a nice 1 to almost 5.5. Yes, it did go higher. I'm definitely not looking at buying anything now. My entries were in the 30 cents, but if it goes back into these areas, basically anything below 60 cents, and you don't have any, I wouldn't be against getting some XRP if I was you, because the $3, $4, maybe even $5, I reckon are definitely doable. So just a quick rundown of what I think are currently still a little bit undervalued in the current market, and where the opportunities may lie for us. So if there's any questions, team, I'm happy to take them and have a look at the quick charts. Let me know. I'll take a sip of my coffee in the meantime. Looks like Caspar might actually give us a nice entry very soon there. This nice candle here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Leverage, call that one too. You hear it here first. That's going to be the next call for Caspar. Any questions, team? I just wanted to give you a quick 25 minutes rundown. No? I think we're good. Couple people typing, so I'll just wait a second. Oh, pleasure. No dramas. Easy peasy. Pleasure. Looks good. Excellent. Good night, good morning, good day, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.